It is now a quarter of. Well, another world record bites the dust. Until this week, John Moschitta was the planet's fastest talker at 586 words per minute.
To deal with Dick. Dick, what's the deal with the deal? Are we dealing? We're dealing. David's a deal with Don, Dork, and Dick. Dork, it's a deal with Dick.
This week, Steve Woodmore from Kent, England, set a new world's record for fast talk, clocking in at 603 words per minute, more than 10 per second. The feat will be duly recorded in the Guinness World Book of Records, and Steve Woodmore is joining us from London. Steve, slow down for just a second. Good morning.
Good morning.
603 words a minute, is that right?
That's right, yes.
Now, how did they know that you went that fast?
Back in 1987 or 1988, I heard or saw something on the television about John Moschitta, who at the time was the world's fastest talker. And I thought, well, that's interesting. He doesn't seem that fast to me, and I wonder if I could go as fast as he did. I went into work the next day and I mentioned it to a couple of guys at work, and we just had a little bit of a world record attempt in the staff room at work. And I was absolutely amazed. They timed me talking for a minute, and I was so close to what his current world record speed was that I actually thought, you know, there might be something in this. I'll give this a go.
How long did you work on this talent?
I've had the talent all my life. I've always been able to speak quickly ever since I was at school, but to actually practice for the world record, I've spent the last 12 weeks practicing 2 hours a day.
And then the Guinness people brought you in?
The Guinness people brought me in 2 days ago, and I did it in their office for them.
What I found out was, though, the previous record holder, John Moschitta, had made quite a good living out of being the fastest talker. Now, I now had that world record, and I suspect that he thought that I was trying to take away his piece of the pie. I wasn't. I wasn't interested in doing any of the work that he'd done. He'd become quite famous for several commercials in the States. He accused me, he accused Guinness, he accused everybody of irregularities. So much so that Guinness Publishing eventually got so fed up with it, what they decided to do was they decided to hold a contest where the world's fastest talkers would all be invited to. The contest was to be held in New York.
3 fast talkers will compete on our air right now to be officially listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's fastest talker.
The passage that Guinness had chosen was from the 18th century novel Tristram Shandy. And it was a piece that I'd never seen before, and I was assured by Guinness that none of the other contestants had seen it before. What we had is we had 12 hours to practice this, just 12 hours. Bear in mind, I just had an 8-hour flight. My body is out of sync by something like 6 hours, and I really desperately wanted to sleep, and yet in 12 hours' time, I was going live on American television.
I'd like you to meet our contestants. John Moschitta, who you may recognize from those fast-talking Federal Express commercials.
Got to the television studios, and the first thing that struck me was how I was out of place. The reason I was out of place was because I had no experience of media. I had nothing like that. And I'd actually come in the clothes that I'd travelled in. And I remember, I'm not sure whether it happened on the interview or before the interview, but one of the presenters said, and there's Steve Woodmore looking like he's just walked in off the street. And I thought, well, hang on, I just have. You know, you haven't given me a chance to do anything. I've not even really had a chance to change clothes. And I thought, you know, this is not going my way. I'm really at a disadvantage here.
The winner will be judged on both speed and clarity. A speech pathologist back in our studio will be reviewing on videotape a slow motion performance by each contestant, counting each clearly spoken word.
Then I think I was up first, and they said to me, OK, you're going on air in about 5 minutes. We're going to have about 12 million viewers. Oh, what?
And Steve Woodmore from London, England, flew in last night. 606 words a minute, he says, is his record.
You can't believe what went through my mind. I thought, I'm now going to do it. I'm tired. I'm not dressed properly. I've not really had a chance to rehearse this, and now in less than 5 minutes I'm going to make myself look a complete and utter idiot in front of 12 million people. This is not the best day of my life.
Before we get going, there's a lot of controversy over this category. Why is that?
Well, basically there's never been a standard set for judging the record. Each contestant has spoken different material, and their time and word clarity has been judged by different people. Now they're all in the same place reading the same material, and their time and word clarity are being judged by the same expert, so there should be no problem this time.
Guinness had said that the contest that we did in New York was the definitive contest. That was it. That was the contest to end all controversy about the world record. Whoever won that contest would be forever known as the world's fastest talker because it was a properly controlled contest.
All right, let's get going here. Steve Woodmore, our first contestant, who I might point out is a salesman back
That's right, yes.
A fast-talking salesman.
Fast-talking salesman.
What a
Get around
world
the
this
customers
is.
quickly.
All right, you ready, Steve?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Mr. Schmertz? 3, 2,
The nerves hit me. They hit me really hard, and I got the massive adrenaline rush, and I absolutely blasted through the passage. By the time I'd finished, not only did I know that I was fast, I also knew that I'd actually recited it quite clearly. So I went backstage, and then I think Fran went and she did her bit, and then John went and he did his bit. I was actually sitting in the green room with the back with John and Fran, and this is the first time that I'd really met these people. And I remember making a casual remark like something like, I can't remember every single word that I've spoken. For all I know, I could have missed a line. And I didn't think anything of that. After they checked the tape with the speech pathologists and the linguistics, they came back and they announced who the winner was.
For those of you who may have missed our last half hour, we've been watching 3 people compete for the title of World's Fastest Talker. They're at the Guinness World Records exhibition at the Empire State Building right now.
And if I remember correctly, they called us back in front of the camera, and all 3 of us were standing next to each other. I'm standing there, I've got my same clothes on that I've travelled in. My body is screaming at me, you need sleep. I'm still suffering from the plane. I'm absolutely shattered. I'm standing there, I'm thinking, well, I know I was fast, but it's not going to be me, but I gave it my best shot.
The winner is Steve Woodmore. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Woodmore!
To my utter surprise, they said it was me.
From the Guinness Book of World Records is the lovely and talented Carrie Diamond.
They said not only was I the fastest, but I was the most intelligible. I was absolutely gobsmacked. And I can't tell you how I felt. I really thought that I hadn't done it. And there it was. And the other memory I've got is that somebody from Guinness presented me with a certificate for this new world record that I just generated and said, there'll be no more arguments over this world record from now on. This is it. We've done it. It's put it to bed.
Congratulations very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Charlie, back to you.
Thank you very much, Steve, and congratulations to Steve. And always in our hearts, of course, will be John Moschitta, who started all of this with the Federal Express commercial.
Turns out that off-the-cuff remark that I'd made in the green room, John Moschitta had taken completely out of context, and because he'd lost to me yet again, he was going round and saying, first of all, I didn't break his original world record. I actually did it twice, not once, but twice. And then he was claiming that during the contest I cheated, and I just thought, I can't be doing with this. The guy is crying like crazy, and I don't want anything more to do with it. I got a phone call from Guinness and they asked me to come into their office, and I thought, oh, this is something, they want me to do something important, something big, and I started to preen, as you do, and I thought, I wonder what it is. I turned up at their offices and they just laid it out for me, and they said basically, because of all the fuss that's been caused over the years by previous record holders, we've decided that we're going to drop the category from the book and we're only going to have the fastest recital of Hamlet's soliloquy as a talking world record. And they said to me, would you be prepared to break it? And I said, no, I'm not interested. It's not my world record. I already have 2 world records. I don't need a 3rd one. And then I just thought, well, I've had enough of this. So from about 1998 to 2012, I just said, that's it. I'm not doing any more. I'll just retire gracefully and let John Moschitta have all the publicity he wants, because I really don't care about any of that. I developed a tumour on this side of my neck, quite a large tumour, and they decided the best way to get rid of it was with radiotherapy. Unfortunately, what it also did is it destroyed all the saliva glands on that side of my neck. This has left me with an absolutely permanently dry mouth. Because I have the dry mouth, I can no longer do the fast talking. I'm never ever going to be able to attempt to break my world record again. I'm now on chemotherapy for my cancer. I just physically can't. My body won't let me talk fast for any more than about 10-15 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Woodmore.
Congratulations on behalf of the Guinness Book of World Records and the Guinness World of Records exhibition. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Steve.
I've held these 2 world records for 25 or more years now. They've been unbroken since those days. There might be silly world records, But to me, there's something very important. I've done something that nobody else in the world is possibly able to do. And that, for me, is fantastic. That's what I did it for, and that's what I've enjoyed about it. I just look back at it all and think, do you know what? Doesn't matter what people think, because at the end of the day, I know that I did it, and that's all that matters to me. I know that I did it.
3, 2, 1, go.
There'll be just so much my Uncle Toby and Trim walking to my father to inform me that Mrs. Waterman comes some months before this made a confidant of my mother, Mrs. Bridget, who had the burden of her own affairs, and Mrs. Secretary Carrier, habit lived with both now standing my mother sitting by, not only that the devil and the woman, the whole affair was just lust, but the evil and disorder of the world, what kind of nature soever, the fall of Adam down to my Uncle Toby's inclusifying one way and the other, same unruly appetite. Europe was just bringing my father's hypothesis some temper when my Uncle Toby entered the room with marks of infinite benevolence and forgiveness in his looks. My father's eloquence rekindled against the passion, as he was not very nice with the choice of words when he was writing. Soon my Uncle Toby was seated by the fire and filled his pipe. My father broke out in this manner.